Yeah, and you know that. I've been dripping on the sun. Tell me who the realest in my city.
How many days?
30 days.
30 days left, yeah. It's a month.
Exactly 1 month. Hey.
Hectic.
But more importantly and more excitingly, we're hanging out with some really, really cool people in studio. Cape to Cairo, they just walked in and I just said, I'm coming with. I don't know how I'm taking leave. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know what I'm going to say to my bosses, but I just know that this is something I would want to be a part of. Guys, how you doing?
Yeah, we're good at yourself. How you doing, Brody?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
Since when do you go to Cape to Cairo? I'm looking at Vince going, yo, man, what's going on, dude? He was like, yo, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for
Let's
having
explain, how did Cape to Cairo come about?
So, Cape to Cairo came about. We initially started raising funds of a building, FET college, a free college in a village of Ngobi.
Okay.
So we looked at angles of how we can, like, make something that's productive, you know, and we said, you know what, let's showcase Africa to the people, and we came up with the concept of Cape to Cairo for 67 days.
But the actual mandate is how do you guys say it? It's TVET.
Yeah, it's a TVET, yeah.
It's a TVET college that you guys wanted to. I mean, I'm looking at you guys. I know Vince, and I'm looking at you. You guys look like swag boys. You look like cool people. You know what I mean? Like, there could be so many things you're doing in the world with your time and your energy. Tell me the importance of this cause. So outside of just Cape to Cairo, you know, that's a catalyst in you getting what you want. Tell me about the cause. Why is this particularly important to you guys as young people to be involved in such?
As you look at like our generation at this point, we generating poverty instead of like generating wealth.
Yeah.
You know, I mean the black majority is like, you know, it's very painful, and the thing is, what encouraged the whole trip is to go from South Africa all the way to Cairo and stop in all the countries in Africa, and then teach them about recycling material, sports, and all those things.
Yeah, and then it was more about the village that we're actually going to build the school in. There's pretty much not a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a generational thing where people don't actually get to grow from the village. So this whole concept was to empower, but at the same time to educate people about Africa, because I feel like we live in such a beautiful continent, but you know, the most that we see about it, it's always media external from Africa. It's always like different kinds of countries and continents coming to shoot content and showcasing Africa. So we're trying to almost like take Africa to the world, or take Africa to Africa.
I think it's so dope for a number of reasons. There are three things that I'm seeing just by listening to what you guys are saying, just reading a bit about the bio on what you guys are doing. Is one, it's community service in the sense of you guys want to, and community service at a very high level. You know, dealing with the lack of education and what education can do within a community. Mm-hmm. One, two, there's the element of recycled material.
Yes.
You know,
You
know what I mean? That's the element of recycled material. And then there's three, the obvious exploring of Africa and the continent and what it has to offer, which taps into a bit of tourism, taps into a bit of branding and positioning. Where have you guys been?
And then,
I think you guys, like, your ex-bosses are probably going, yo, we should have kept them. You know, that's brilliant. Talk to me about the recycled material. So you guys are trying to build the school from recycled material.
Recycled material, yeah.
With mostly recycled material.
That is insane. How is that even possible, guys? Like, what does that mean? Because when I think recycle, I think 2-liter bottle, plastic in the plastics, glass in the glass, paper in the paper. Take me through what you guys are envisioning.
Like, we use planks, pallets, and plastic. You know, I currently run a lounge in Pretoria called Home Lounge. It's a music space. It's also made of recycled material as well. So
like almost recycle bricks, recycle everything. So that another thing that we notice is that in a lot of black communities in townships and forth, even Mojozi downtown, is that people just seem to just throw everything on the floor, and I feel like there's so much that we could be done with all the waste that people
Yeah.
use every day, and
Yeah.
why not build a school with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
why
like
not set up
recycle.
something that's legit? How does this work? So you guys are going from Cape to Cairo.
Yeah.
We've heard it in songs. You know, there've been stints in movies where you'll hear this like, oh, you know what I mean, from Cape to Cairo, and people are saying it. But this is a real thing. So you guys are trying to do this in 67 days to move from Cape Town to Cairo, passing through 12 countries,
12
on the
countries.
continent.
Yeah, representing 7 nations.
7 nations.
So there's
yeah.
people from different countries joining us. So for
Okay.
instance, there's Mike coming from the States. There's KD coming all the way from Scotland,
Yeah.
Canada. There's the
There's
UK.
Rory from South Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's guys from Swaziland and guys from Botswana.
Botswana, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just also trying to make it a global thing that all these countries get involved and embark in
Yeah.
all
Really
these
unite.
Yeah.
Unite, yeah.
Tell me about the countries that you guys are going to. So you're stopping by at 12 countries. What are these countries? What are you guys going to be doing when you stop? In these 12 countries, is it 12 countries that you're going to or more?
Yeah, 12.
12 countries.
12.
What are you guys doing when you get there?
We basically trying to, like I said, Africa is for Africans, but we don't enjoy Africa. So we're also trying to teach the guys from the villages as well to go listen to those tourists when they go to those tourist attractions, you know, so that they can listen to what they need, and then they can maybe go back and do business with them instead of them saying, oh, Victoria Falls is expensive. You know, so if they can just go and learn and listen to the tourist what they need, maybe a tourist will say, I need cigarettes on the streets, and then you can just maybe start your own cigarette business and then sell that to the tourist. You know, that way we can all enjoy Africa because it's ours. You know, we have to all enjoy it. You know?
So I'm sensing an element of SMMEs empowering.
Yeah,
of
because
SMMEs,
also
yeah.
the way the team is chosen as well, everyone has different kinds of skill. For instance, we're also traveling with the doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For stuff like sanitation and stuff like that, to educate people about that.
Sure.
I'm also into film, so
Yeah.
I'll be hosting a couple of wherever villages we get an opportunity to talk about film and showcase. And I'm also even trying to take an element of taking African cinema to Africa. You know what I mean? Get to a certain location. I mean, as simple as just putting a projector and showcasing a couple of local African films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the whole vibe. Because I mean, this thing it's like almost like a snowball. It can grow almost to anything.
Into anything.
anything,
That's
yeah.
what I'm getting. That it can really become everything. If you've got any questions, hit us up on our social media platforms. It's Touch HD Online. We're speaking Cape to Cairo. Are you interested? Is there something you'd want to do? I have a feeling it's not the last one they're doing. That it's like you say, it's a snowball effect. It probably will continue. Hit us up on our social media platforms. I'll be reading some of your tweets. The guys are in studio, so we can ask them all we want to ask them before we go to the song break. So not everybody obviously can go on this trip. How are you guys doing this? Are you guys purely driving?
Yeah,
it's
overland.
Yeah. we drive.
Overland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane, guys. That is gonna be so beautiful, guys. Please, while you guys are sending tweets, please tell me what I should say to my bosses to justify for me to go on this trip. To be a part of this, because I think it stands for so many great things. So it's on land, so people get to connect. Because sometimes, as much as flying somewhere is amazing, but it's amazing what happens when you drive through a place and you stop and buy food from the locals, and you stop and you
eat with
speak,
them.
you know, you eat with them and you
Speak with
connect.
them.
You know what I mean? It's a completely different experience. But more of this on the other side when we ask the guys how they're going to send a letter to my boss. They're laughing at me. And you guys know how I do. When I say something often enough, on the 18th of July, I will be in Cape Town in the direction to Cairo.